Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're doing great. Welcome back in this beautiful podcast. I will walk you through 3 steps to become very fluent English speaker. We have a very simple formula, and in this formula, there are 3 steps. The first step is to set your goal. The second step is to take action, and the third step is to follow through. Let's talk about the first step. When we talk about your setting of goals, is to decide on what to do. Now, I assume that you have already decided to pursue an English career and become an English speaker, or a fluent English speaker, or a native like English speaker. Let me give you a little bit of background about the word decide. It's coming from Greek and it means to cut off from other things. So once you have decided on what you want, that's exactly, you cut off all other possibilities and you just started focusing on one particular goal. Let me tell you this story. I was driving my car in Zayuna a few days ago, and I got stuck at night because my internet just ran out and my GPS turned off. So I couldn't reach to the highway. It was dark and there were not that many people in the street to ask to get directions. So I started driving around, getting into some shortcuts and some roads, but I couldn't get to my destination because it was dark and there were like so many roadblocks. But once I got my internet back activated, the highway was only a few minutes away. And when I activated my GPS, it just guided me through that. So you need to have a vision in order to reach where your goals are. Now, have one goal and stick with it. Deciding what you want is like setting a target for you to shoot at. Clarity is power, actually. When you have a clarity or vision of your goals, you are going to reach to the destination that you have. When I was young, around 20 years old, I decided to master English completely and fluently. So the more clear you are on what you want, the more precise your brain is going to take action to achieve your goals. Your brain functions actually subconsciously to help you reach and tackle the goals and objectives and challenges that you have. I decided that I want to speak English fluently. So with the target set in place, I started working to reach that target. I worked on only that target particularly. I read so many stories. I listened to so much audio. At that time, we didn't have access to internet, so I used the tape recording cassettes to do so. If you decide to speak English fluently, go for it. If you decide to speak English like a native speaker, believe me, you'll get to that imitation level of native speakers with some slips here and there. Even remember, for standardized tests like IELTS and TOEFL, even at 0.9, which is the highest band, they say that the speakers have some slips of tongue and some slips in here and there. So once you've decided on exactly what you want, it's really critical that you continue focusing on that target. That's focusing on your target is the key to reach and achieve and accomplish your goals. That's step number 1. Let's go to step number 2. You need to take action. Once you have set your goals and targets in place, you will need to grab your gun, which is whatever kind of activities that you like to do, and shoot at that particular target. Now, it is not always right to assume that shooting on that target once is going to get you to the right result that you look for. That's not true. You need to do many shots in order to get to that point. So if you if you want to speak like a native speaker, there are some hurdles, but with the benefit of technology and information technology, you can reach to that goal completely without any hurdles, without any challenges. It is not always possible to accomplish that in a short period of time. Maybe it takes you 6 months. Maybe it takes you 2 years to 3 years to master that. But within that level, it is not the main challenge. The main challenge is to sustain that particular level. Your goal is not to be fluent English speaker, but your goal is to maintain fluency for a longer period of time. Let's go to step number 3. Once you have decided on what you want and you've taken action to do what you want, keep working on it. It's the sustainability of effort. People reach to the level of fluency, but with no practice, they lose that kind of knack and flexibility of speaking because their pronunciation skills and their words are going to die out by the course of not using. So, for example, if you let's have this example here. If you want to lift 100 kilograms, you can lift 100 kilograms step by step. You cannot go to 100 kilograms right off the bat. No, you need to gradually equip your mind to be able to reach to that level of lifting gradually. So it's a matter of growth. When you start to improve your English, you need to take one single action. The next day, one single action. And keep taking the same action day by day. After 3 or 4 months, you would have already built enough fluency potential that will enable you to communicate effectively. If you build your fluency by just 1% every day, you're building 100% after 100 days. And that is almost 3 months. Now, that depends on the selection of the materials that you have. If you could have the right materials, you would be able to completely achieve the target goals that you have. Let's review the formula that I suggested for fluency. First, you need to set your goal. In my goal list is read 1 chapter of a book, listen to audio, translate 10 pages of my work that I'm doing here, create a video podcast, post it on Facebook, call my trainees, my learners that I teach, and work on your thesis dissertation. For the formula that I just mentioned, there are 3 steps. Just a quick conclusion. Step number 1, set your goals. Step number 2, take action. Step number 3, sustain and follow through. These are the steps that I suggest to you to help you become a very fluent English speaker. Thank you so much. مدرب اللغة وليد خالد. نلتقي بكم ببودكاست جديد بإذن الله.